Hello fellow Total Warriors, I am Zardar and welcome to another online battle from Warhammer 2. So this one is featuring ft.Eumaies, if I'm actually pronouncing that name right, and if not, I'm really sorry. And yeah, let's go over and see what we got over here. Obviously it's the Dwarfs against the Dark Elves, and actually this is a really fun battle because if you will see the Dark Elven army here, it's a really hard counter to the Dwarfs with double Cold One chariots on each side, Malekith on a chariot as well with Gaze of Malice to rip down any unarmored units like the Slayers or even Rangers, Stand Your Ground, Soul Stealer, and the Word of Pain to reduce melee attack in order for just shutting down the front line of the Dwarfs completely, because they already have little bit of a melee attack, so that's gonna put it down to 0. Also, the infantry is just straight up for business, 3 Bleak Swords in the front line to soak up early damage, a couple of Black Arquebusiers, as you can see over here, for some a little bit better fighting capabilities, and also 4 Harganeth Executioner units in the back. So yeah, this is like this guy really wants to defeat the Dwarves back here. And also 1 unit of Dark Riders Vanguard deployed in the back to, you know, go harass cannons and things like that. Over on the Dwarf side, we obviously have a Rune Lord with the Master Rune of Wrath and Ruin, also a Runesmith with the same rune, just the normal one though. We also got a unit of Longbeards on the flanks, some more great weapons, some Slayers back here, the Dragonback Slayers, protecting the cannons, and they're actually facing backwards, and the same actually is happening to these guys. If you will notice, Rangers here, they're all looking towards that way instead of that way, and you're gonna see why that is. So Ulthuar's Raiders over here with Mark of Ulthuar, reducing the armor, and easily the Harganeth Executioners or any other heavily armored unit is gonna come to it's gonna collapse by the range of fire. Some more Rangers over here, we also got another cannon, some more Longbeards, more Rangers looking the wrong way, more Longbeards here, and some great weapons as well, and some Longbeards. And on this side it's really heavy on Rangers, and one is actually the Bagman's Rangers, which can regenerate. So immediately let's begin this battle. I think I need to fast forward a little bit this one, because it's just the Dwarfs just opening fire in those Bleak Swords that came first into contact, but soon it's gonna be Harganeth. And look at that now. This is the reason the Bagman's the Rangers and all of these guys were looking the wrong way, because he knew that something would come into his back, and just even that split second that it takes to strafe around and start shooting is gonna be proving quite useful. As you can see here, just with a couple of shots, these guys are almost down to 60% HP, and yeah, I don't think they're gonna be trying to come back here again. And I really love how this DAWI player is doing this specific matchup, because he's just spread all over the place, so he can support any unit with just pure fire range. And let's be honest, that's the real killing power of the Dwarfs. They're ranged. They're melee units, they're decent, but they will eventually collapse, either via magic support or anything else. So it really comes down to being able to protect your ranged units. And since you have a lot in this case, you really want to spread them over. Some early charges over here, the Bleak Swords are gonna clash into the Longbeards. Obviously these guys will just beat the brakes out of them. Over here Mark of Ulthuar is going down, and all of these Rangers are just gonna open fire, just reducing them to bits, down to 57 men, 25% HP, and this unit is about to get wiped out. Malekith over here is moving from the left hand side with the chariot. The other one is coming from this way, which is yeah, there's not a whole lot to defend back here. And also the Dark Riders decided, instead of the cannon, to actually come for the Rangers over here, and they're gonna get a nasty back charge, just tossing all of these poor Dwarfs, these heavy poor Dwarfs. I am really actually sorry for the horses that have to just bash on those really heavy dudes. Anyway, over here those Longbeards actually had shifted their line. They were positioned right up in there, but ft.Eumaies pulled them back in order for the Rangers to be able to shoot at them. And also the Cold One chariot over here has taken significant damage, because it did the mistake of actually for 1 second staying into combat with the Dragonback Slayers. He tried to charge them in and just kept pushing through, but yeah, they just stopped. And over here, as you can see, the cannon actually takes 2 of the pieces down, and the gyro bomber takes out the 3rd one. Holy crap, that Cold One Chariot completely wiped out, and that moves the balance of power completely, not completely, really heavily in the favor of the Dwarfs. But this matchup is not just over yet, because this flank over here is not doing that well. That Cold One Chariot is quite healthy, the Dark Riders are still quite decently on the health pool. They can really easily come back and just shut down the archers with the help of that Cold One Chariot, and just keep on running and keep on charging through. Over here the Harganeth are getting struck by another Master Rune of Hearth, excuse me, Master Rune of Wrath and Ruin, and that Rune Lord is gonna be all alone fighting over here, and the balance of power is gonna shift back because the Runesmith is actually all alone fighting Harganeth Executioners, and these guys will just chop him down really fast. As you can see over here, some Longbeards overextending over there, some brave Longbeards holding the front line from these two Blackheart Corsairs and Bleak Swords from getting through. Over in the back though, the DAWI seem to be quite in a really relative nice position. It's only Malekith back here that is troubling the back line. The cannons are still online. Where's the other one? No, actually one of the cannons is only still online. The other one might have actually been destroyed, and this is how it's gonna go down. The Mark of Ulthor is gonna go down to these Harganeth Executioners, and all of these rangers from all over the place are just gonna start shooting that guy down, and also Malekith. But Malekith is just he's just not gonna oh my dear lord, that charge is quite brutal. He got them from the side, and he's just gonna trample through the whole line, and the Ulthor's raiders are just gonna be pretty much wiped out. Back here, still those Longbeards, these brave Longbeards holding the line, but the balance of power actually tilts in the favor of the Dark Elves, even though there's really not that much left, but that's because mainly of that chariot over here, which has easily defeated the Bagman's Rangers with the help of the Harganeth. The Gyro Bomber has not done that good of a damage to this Cold One Chariot as it did to the other one, together with the help of the cannons, but now the cannons over here that these Harganeth are offline will be able to start shooting again. One piece is down, the other two are still rolling, and let's see, the balance of power is in the middle. What needs to be done over here is just keep those lines not tight, actually quite the opposite, in order to be able to shoot Malekith and that Cold One Chariot. But there's nothing about mass that can stop them, not about mass, like these 21 Dragonback Slayers, I don't think they're gonna be enough to do it, and that Gyro Bomber just ran out of ammunition. So yeah, it's just down to the cannon. Another Rune of Wrath and Ruin is gonna go down, just trying to slow this thing down as much as it can. Or is it not? What is that? Yeah, the slow effect from Wrath and Ruin. So this thing is just gonna break by the presence of the Rune Lord over here, and Malekith is gonna be inspecting the cannons of the Dwarfs actually, and yeah, he's just gonna get stuck on these pieces, and which is gonna allow the Dragonback Slayers to stack up on him in return, and he's gonna take some heavy fire over here. As you can see, these Dragonback Slayers are just not fooling around. A huge rallying force from the Dark Elves, which seems to be heading towards the wrong side. They should be coming here in order to shut down most of these ranged from actually peppering down Malekith, and now the balance of power actually moved back in the favor of the Dwarfs, and that is mostly because Malekith has really lost a lot of HP, although a pure Soul Stealer over here on top of all these units could prove lethal. So hence this is the reason that ft.Eumaies is actually pulling his troops a little bit aside, and he's only chasing with the Dragonback Slayers and the Rune Lord. So over on this side we have a few rallies. The Gyro Bombers are actually, that's a really great choice. They're actually escorting the Cold One Chariot off the field, because if that thing came back, it would actually be proved, it would actually prove quite hard for the DAWI to just break it again, just because the cannons are not, are there still two remaining? Oh, it's still two remaining. I thought another one had just fallen, but yeah. Anyway, Malekith is taking some cannonballs, but he's just strafing and avoiding it. And also back here the Longbeards are just gonna be pulling their worth, and as you can see they're gonna be holding back a tide of Harganeth, Bleak Swords, more Bleak Swords and Black Archers. Not a tide, I mean just in numbers, they're all beaten down to crap, but yeah, they're gonna be holding their ground quite well. And I really don't understand why the Dark Elf player actually went for this side instead of just chasing his ranged and just trying to shut down the cannon and all of the rest. So that is pretty much it for the backline harassment. Everything has been fended off. Some of the units have rallied or are about to rally. New battle lines are formed over here. These rangers and the Longbeards together with the great weapons are gonna be acting as frontline. Oh, these guys will actually be pulled back. Oh, they still have a little bit of ammunition. I thought they didn't have any, so he would use them as melee unit, but obviously he didn't. Alright, let's fast forward a little bit and let's see what is gonna happen. The cannon is still gonna keep harassing, the Harganeth are wavering, and Malekith is just gonna try to avoid the shots from going into the woods, but at this point really, do you wanna do that? No. So you're just gonna give up the battle, and this is exactly what happened. So really well played by ft.Eumaies into this matchup. Like I really liked, because every time you see 3 or more chariots from the enemy player as High Elves or Dark Elves, you know it's about to get really hard. And he actually played that quite effectively, just going super wide, splitting all of his rangers, outplaying the early charge from the Dark Riders by just shifting the rangers looking towards the other side, which opened fire immediately and shut it down. And these guys were actually the unshielded variant. I think, I don't know, these Severons are probably have been acquired through battle, but if one Severon has been spent, for example, on the Harganeth, I really think that it should be these guys with shields, and bring some more. Just one Dark Rider is just not enough. So yeah, like a really good kill count across the board, except a couple of guys who were actually fighting Harganeth, but these guys fighting Bleak Swords and Blackheart Corsairs did quite well. The Dragonback Slayers really did quite a lot of damage, and defending with only one Slayer unit is actually quite hard, so really good job. The Rangers just being the destructive force they usually are, and with the help of the Mark of Ulthar, any target that needed to get brought down, it really was. The Gyro Bomber did quite well, Gyrocopter, excuse me about that, and the cannons actually did a really good job. You saw that Cold One Chariot, how easily it got destroyed in the beginning of the Harganeth did quite alright, both of them, 2 of them. The other 2 didn't do that well, most likely because of Rune of Wrath and Ruins. And yeah, Malekith 141 kills, just dropping Soul Stealers, and Word of Pains actually helped a lot in the fight. So GG to both of these guys. Like the Dark Elven player really had a really nice build. The Dwarfs also though were better prepared, and they overcame the odds. So yeah. Anyway, I really hope you enjoyed, guys. Feel free to leave a like or a comment. Feel free to subscribe if you're not, and hit that notification button. And yeah, gonna be seeing you next time. Bye bye.